Tim, welcome to yes,
Disclosure Day.
Welcome to Tuesdays with Tim. Tim has something he's chuckling about down there, but we'll have to find out exactly what that is. A lot of you are seeing a new look on Tim this week. Two things. Number one, he got a haircut, and you look so dapper.
Thank you.
And have you seen this man's body? I was shocked when I asked him to send me one of his favorite pictures, and the one he sent me was him flexing his muscles. That was really impressive. So I said, let's use that for this thumbnail on our summer memories. What do you think, Gene?
So that's a recent picture. That's not from his youth.
I know. Did you get strangely aroused when you saw it? Because I sure did.
It was definitely strangely something.
Strangely so.
So, we were kind of trying to decide what to talk about, and we decided that, well, it's summer, it's Pride, and it's also Family Proclamation Month. Happy to all of you, the Family Proclamation bullshit. And we haven't talked about the favorite things that we do during summer, the traditions,
Now,
the memories.
just a moment. I just read Jay Castor just posted that his father-in-law passed away today. So let us give our condolences to our friend Jay Castro. So Jay, we're acknowledging you. We're acknowledging that you are grieving. I would recommend that you go get C.S. Lewis's A Grief Observed, which is possibly the best book on grief that I have ever read. My phone's ringing.
And I'd say we would do a moment.
I gotta go, guys. I'll be back in a minute.
Okay, you do that.
Parade.
I would say we would offer a moment of silence, but there's so many gaps when we're talking about things anyway that you just add them all up and it'll be more than a moment of silence for anybody that needs one.
Jay, we are very sorry. I'm sorry to hear that. And, grief is difficult and it sucks when we lose someone we love. And it's true what they say, that grief is the price we pay for love. So we're sorry that happened to you. So, Gene, you mentioned that you used to really enjoy going to the, what would you call them? Sun worshiper clubs during the summer, you and Michelle?
So
nude beaches, as most of you would know them. Yeah.
Yeah, well, we'll all start off by saying this is my birth week, and that next week is Randy's birth week.
Oh, that's right.
So I'm going to be older than Randy for a week.
You're gonna be. But right now we're the same age.
Yeah, but summertime, I did spend a lot of time as a youth in the sun. We had a cabin in the Sierras, and we would go they had a pool, they had a lake, and even other times before I even went there, we would go, boys running around shirtless in the neighborhood playing tag or playing baseball or whatever on the warmer days. And so there would always be that first burn. And then we'd spend time peeling the flakes off.
Right.
And then the next time it wasn't quite so bad of a burn. And so we'll see if I get skin cancer on my back at some point and over the next 20 years.
Yeah, I'm kind of trying to stay out of the sun, what with my history of skin cancer.
Oh.
No surprise, growing up on a farm in Arizona, and we never wore our shirts when we were out, hauling hay and stuff. And yeah.
But you don't get a sunburn talking about it.
I thought that it just, a tan was just what you needed to do.
Yeah.
And then because I didn't listen to the warnings, who does when they're a kid? But now I'm paying for it because I'm getting these skin cancers cut out that I probably got back then. Kind of sucks.
So anyhow, yeah, we've talked about favorite movies from our childhood, and I was thinking, so Tim has sort of signed us up for Sunstone, where Tim and I and some other podcasters are going to talk at Sunstone about the meaning of podcasting in what it means for the present history, for the past history, and for the future history.
Oh,
And so we could say, as part of the conference that we're at, the panel that we're going to be on, that Tuesdays with Tim documents at least 3 old guys, and sometimes we get some more people, and sometimes we get some women on the show talking about their experiences as a youth with their favorite TV shows or movies, or like we're going to talk about today, summers.
Summer.
So in a way, we're documenting history.
Summer. We are
by talking
documenting
about
history.
and as you
Summer.
said, future history.
Yeah.
And if you're documenting the future history, you need to sell the concept that in 2 days, tomorrow will be yesterday.
There you go.
Yeah, that's the quantum physics.
Okay.
So, yay. So, Gene, can you start off telling us what you used to love to do in the summertime, more than go behind your grandma's house and take your shirts off with the other boys?
So it wasn't behind the grandma's house. It was at the schoolyard where we would play.
This was like
3
2 years
flies.
ago.
I guess we didn't know how to pitch to each other. So we would throw the ball up in the air and swing and play and hit.
Oh,
And
you
we'd
throw.
play 3 flies, you're out. That's one game. And then another game was to 500. There was a certain amount of points that fielders got, depending if it was a grounder, a 2-hopper, a 1-hopper, fly ball, different configurations. And then when they got to 500, like a catching a fly was 100 points. And so if you were an outfielder and you caught 5 flies, then you would have 500 points, and you get to bat now. And that might have been when we were pitching to each other, but I can't remember for sure.
We'll have to get together and all of us play that sometime.
Yeah. And so I was thinking about this, that when we started out, we would throw the ball up and hit it ourselves. And so
Right.
that was 3 flies, you're out.
Yeah.
That was, I guess, a way to teach us to not hit fly balls, because to try to make contact and hit more on a line.
If it's
A
going to
line
be
drive.
a fly, that's okay, so long as it clears the fence, right?
Yeah. Or
Right.
maybe you try to power up. If they start coming in, then you try to hit it over their heads. Right. I don't know.
Right.
So anyway, that was just an interesting something that we would do, every summer. Also, we would get some sort of long plastic sheet and sprinkle water on it, and then run and dive and practice our head first dives. But since the water in the sheet was never at real baseball, and I would always skin my knees, I stopped diving head first.
So you made your own slip and slide.
So we would make our own slip and slide. That's right. We did it on grass a lot first. But,
Right. I remember. Yeah.
You
That's what
did
we
it on grass as opposed to what? Did you ever do it on cement?
No, we were talking about sometimes we'd have some plastic sheeting that we
Yeah.
would do. But
And then sometimes they do it just on
sometimes we would do
grass.
on grass alone.
Oh, I
Just grass.
see.
Just have the sprinkler on, and then we would just start playing in it and get muddy. And then my mom would tell us to go in the backyard, and she would hose us off and make us take all our clothes off and put them on the back porch.
Exactly. Yes, because we were covered with mud.
Our weekly Saturday evening baths, and then she would wash all our clothes, and then we'd come out of the bathtub and watch Flipper or something else.
Yay.
Maybe Star Trek sometimes.
And is that something that was just a tradition that you did every summer?
It was just what kids did around here, right? It's
Yeah.
Put the sprinklers on, play in the mud, and then
We used to play baseball in the street, where
Oh, yeah.
first
Did
base
you use
was
a stick or a bat?
a stick.
Yeah.
Well, it's a bat or a stick, but first base was the curb on the right side, and second base was behind the pitcher, and third base was the left curb, and home was where you started, just have, those were fun times. Or the neighbor would pull out his airplane, his control line airplane, and fly it around and let us fly it around the street a few times.
I used to love
Or we had those cars, those hopped up cars with a engine, gas engine, and the little roadster going around in a circle on somebody's yard. We were very creative. My neighborhood, when I grew up, from the time I was 11 or 12, we moved to another house, but the Greenfield house we did all kinds of stuff. Yeah. I mean, Gene's talking about playing in the mud. I got covered in mud. There are photographs of me in the family album just covered in mud from head to toe. And my mom used to take a hose and squirt me down. And then there was going to the beach, I mean, going up to Pico Boulevard and get on the bus.
Yeah, because you grew up in SoCal, right?
Yeah, SoCal, and you get on the bus, and the number 10 bus, and go all the way up to Santa Monica Pier for a dime and spend all day at the beach and come home. You had like $1 for food.
Yeah.
You come home at the end of the day. Did that a lot.
I know what Diamond Dave did in the summers in Minnesota. Maybe just kill mosquitoes all day. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, taking $1 for food to the beach.
Yeah, you could.
A day where you could buy one of those huge Big Hunk candy bars
for a dime.
Yeah, like a dime. They were always some of the cheapest. Brother Jones, welcome.
Brother Jones. Hi, Brother Jones. Been a while.
How's it going?
Good.
Good.
I've been on walkabout the last couple of weeks, so I'm a little out of it.
Walkabout.
That's right.
He was visiting China.
Yeah, I'll just say one thing. Of course, China's probably monitoring. They got my face scanned right now. The facial recognition and monitoring of everybody in that country is off the charts. That's all I'll say right now.
Serious.
It goes up to 11. You would not believe.
It's almost like Big Brother is alive and well.
Dude, they track you everywhere. I thought I was gonna have to have facial recognition and DNA testing just to use the bathroom. It was nuts. Anyway.
Oh
man.
Gene pulled me in briefly. I can't stay long, but I'm glad to be here. Say hello to everybody, and
thank you.
Yeah, I need to touch base with you guys offline sometime in the next couple of weeks. It's been busy. Anyway.
Okay.
Well, hey, before you go, can you maybe tell us what your favorite summer memory or memories or traditions were?
Well, I will relate one story. This would be from the late 70s.
I thought you were going to say, I will upon the 5 points of fellowship.
Yes. From the late 70s, my family lived fairly close to Yosemite, and my father was in a stake presidency. And the stake presidency and their families would go up to Yosemite and camp in Yosemite for 3 or 4 days. Really great memories. So now you can do that now, but they actually had these little cabins you could stay in. I don't know if those still exist or not, but that was I really didn't know that it was stake presidency stuff going on. There were, I think it was just a little retreat, that they did. That was always enjoyable. But another summer memory, I had a family friend my age. It was a few hours away from us, and we would always go see them in the summer, and that was very similar to kind of like Huckleberry Finn life. We would just roam. we would go out into fields and go catch snakes and lizards and, you know, see jackrabbits. And that was childhood life in the 60s, 70s, even in the 80s. They call it free range childhood, right?
Yeah.
And that just doesn't happen anymore. So that was always fun to go up and see him, and we'd kind of do a little mischief here and there. You know.
How did you know what time it was to come home? Because I know.
Oh, that's an interesting question.
It's how the moms decide to call the kids in.
Well, this is a funny story. When I was in my childhood neighborhood, which I'm very nostalgic about, I still go back and drive through the neighborhood, take pictures of the house and all that. When I was a kid, this would be in the 70s. We left this area in the late 70s. I knew what time to go home because my dad would come out on the porch and he would whistle.
Oh, wow.
And that was the call to come to dinner. And that would usually happen or probably around 6 o'clock or something. So that was, I could hear that almost anywhere from where he was really good at whistling. So he'd whistle from the porch and that was time to go home. And I'd head home.
That's awesome.
I had very much a free range childhood, no question, climbing trees, riding bikes, just very similar to what you guys were all about 10 years ahead of me doing the same thing.
Same thing. Same exact thing.
No one cared about where we were going, what we were doing. We got on our bikes and we rode all
wherever
the hell. Yeah.
That's because there were so many kids. They had no value. But now the kids are the supply of kids are so low that they have more value.
Well, I'm gonna briefly tell you about a book that I highly recommend. I could share it all to you sometime. It's called The Anxious Generation by Jonathan Haidt. He's the same guy who wrote The Righteous Mind. You've heard that book.
Okay.
But this book about anxious generation, he explains how childhood changed dramatically when the cell phone hit children's hands.
Okay? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And how kids don't go out and play with each other anymore. I saw this in the 2000s for sure. And we had a very different childhood in the 60s, 70s, and 80s. And it just created a very different psychology. And sadly, not good for some. Anyway, that's my memory.
That is lovely. I think it's funny to listen to how all the parents called their kids. And we had a woman in the neighborhood she did this yodeling. And how embarrassing for the kid. Because she'd step out and yodel like, and all that. And it was loud. It traveled, probably not as far as your dad's whistle, but it was loud. So everybody knew that kid had to go in. But my rule was when the street lights came on, I need to be in the house.
Yeah, the street light.
Yeah, we had street lights too. Yeah.
Yeah. When the street light came on, it was time to go home.
Yeah.
That's what the song said.
Well, and where I lived, in summertime, that street light wouldn't come on till maybe 8:30 at night or 9.
That's right. That's right.
We played kick the can, that kind of stuff. I remember this neighborhood had, there were
How about Simon Says?
There were 6 or 8 of us who were kind of regularly that, did things with all different ages, from ages, say, 6 to 14 or 15, something like that. But anyway, it's changed. It's changed a lot, obviously.
That's right. Red Rover. What was theirs?
Thank you, Hallie.
Ring of the Roses. Going around.
Ring around the rosies, yeah.
Ring around the rosies, pocket full of posies, ashes, we all fall down.
Yeah, and that's supposed to be some macabre thing that happened like in the 60s.
It is a macabre thing. It's about
people got rose fever or something like that, and then they had to burn the bodies.
When they got
make a song out of it,
and the plague.
they
The
would
plague.
have kids carry a pocket full of posies because they
Right.
thought it would deter the bubonic
Oh,
plague.
I'm not familiar
Yeah.
with that. Street football. I'm sure you're all familiar with street football.
Street football, street baseball. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, we
I
had
mean,
our own version.
Yeah. What were the plastic balls and bats?
wiffle
Oh,
ball.
the wiffle balls. Wiffle balls.
Absolutely.
The
Wiffle
big
We
ball.
had-
bat.
We had a big field behind all of our houses.
Mhm.
And so when it got dark, because we'd have sleepovers at one or the other's place, and then we'd go out in the field. And the rule was we each got a box of matches, of those wooden matches. And I mean, it was dark out there in the no moon Arizona. And the rule was every minute you had to light a match. And everyone started pelting rocks in that direction.
Really?
Yeah, you'd have to light a match and then cover your head up and run.
How funny.
Yeah, it was
That's
all fun and games until one of the kid took a rock to the head and
Yeah.
went in
Uh-oh,
bleeding and
ouch.
crying. So
Well,
Ouch.
some people here would know. Some of the pranks or things you would do. I don't know when egging cars was a thing.
Oh, it was a thing in the 50s and the 60s.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
Egging
did that.
somebody's
I did
house.
that once or twice. Egg a car.
Or
Of
toilet
course,
paper house.
yeah, toilet paper houses. Yeah, that was pretty harmless, but yeah.
well, unless you shredded the paper up in little pieces and then turned their sprinkler system on or their
Oh
hose.
yeah. Well,
Yeah,
some
Or
people
got-
would egg houses too.
Yeah.
yeah.
But I was just gonna say, it seems to me. I mean, I remember in the '70s, Little League baseball was important,
Yeah.
right? I don't know if that's really the case in the last 25 years. I don't really know if they do that much anymore. But Little League baseball was a really important part of my childhood for sure. Anyway,
Yeah.
I'll listen now, and I'll step out here in a few minutes.
Thank you for coming in, Brother Jones.
Yeah,
it's
we're
good to
glad
see
you
guys.
dropped in.
Yeah. Yeah.
What about you, Mr. Tim? What are your summer ambitions?
Wyoming, going to my uncle's ranch in Wyoming. The 4th of
Nice.
July with fireworks, moving hay, hauling hay and moving pipe, riding a motorcycle, going to the beach. July 4th, and then the 24th of July at the behind the LA Temple, there was this huge field where we'd have our 24th of July celebrations for Westwood and Westwood Second Ward. Huge combined event. Did that for ever 18, almost 19 years when I lived there. Every July 24th, we'd have huge celebration there.
Wow.
For
Yeah.
Pioneer Day.
Pioneer Day.
I never knew it was
Yeah.
Pioneer Day until I was like 20. The state would do something, and they probably would call it something, but it didn't dawn on me that that was the day that the pioneers came into Utah.
Yeah.
One of the things that we did frequently in Arizona, and I know this is a repeat of a story from some show we did, but the big thing was there's a Falcon Field Airport, as they call it, in Mesa, Arizona. And it's a
Right.
smaller airport. So it's not like an international airport, just private planes mostly. But it was equipped for big planes to land if they had to. But they had a public swimming pool there. And so that's where all the ward parties were. And I'd walk in, and there's this guy that was in our stake, in my ward, actually, Brother Frazier, who would bring a pickup truck full of watermelons, because that's what he did, is he was a watermelon farmer. And that was really, he had the sweetest, the best, most succulent watermelons on the planet. And so we'd swim for a while, and then we'd get out and have a picnic and as much cut up watermelon as we could eat. And then after we all had to wait a half hour or you would drown. So after a half hour after the meal, it was right back to the pool. But you know what I always took note of was all of the women at the ward party would swim in their damn clothes. They'd have a t-shirt on and capris, and that was their swimsuit, so they could wear their garments when they swam. And I remember thinking back then that was singular and dumb. But
Yeah. I remember the community pool, or we had a neighbor that had a pool when I was in my teenage years. We'd go there and swim. But there was
Also, the summertime was going to the matinee.
Yeah, that too.
Like a quarter or something like that. And it didn't dawn on me, but my mom would give us, like, I had 2 older brothers, 2 younger brothers. And I don't know if we all went, but she would give us, $5 and we can go see a few movies in a row. That's probably when my mom and dad had conjugal visits.
But we had double features too, Gene. Remember? Double features.
Right. That's what I'm saying. You got all afternoon to have fun without the kids.
Yes.
The going to the movies, for some reason, made me remember. How many of you remember the advent of the really important American cultural phenomenon known as the Big Gulp? The 32-ounce drink from 7-Eleven.
Gulp.
Yeah, buddy.
And then they started letting you get the Slurpee in the Big Gulp size. At first, it was just the soda, I think, but then they.
I didn't know that, but I want to say, be interesting to know when that came out. I want to say that came out in the late 70s.
Probably.
But
that sounds about right.
Yeah, that was the beginning of the end for American health.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm hitting the wrong button. So.
And yeah, I think it was the 70s.
I remember getting those Slurpees in the hot Arizona sun and start gulping them down, and then I get this horrific brain freeze. And you think your eyes are going to drop out of your head.
Yeah.
But it tasted so good, you didn't want to stop drinking it.
So we'd have young teenagers and then the younger brothers go on bike rides in the evenings. Now, I don't know if it happened very much in 105 degree, 110 degree Mesa, Arizona.
I had a companion from Mesa, and he told me they did it at night. They used to go out at night.
Oh, yeah. I'd love. Yeah. Nighttime is a good time to party in Arizona because it doesn't get cool, but it gets coolish. I remember the first time I took Amanda, we went to Scottsdale and stayed at one of these Scottsdale resorts, and she was at the faucet waiting with the cup, and I was laying on the bed reading, and the water was running and running, and said, "Hey, baby, are you okay?" She goes, "Yeah, but how long does it take for the water to get cold here?" I'm like,
Never.
You're going to be waiting a long ass time.
A long time.
Water boils faster in Arizona because of that. Because you start off with 105 degree water.
Doesn't get cold, that's for sure.
Yeah, I think they still have the Big Gulp, but those were things that started out new. And so also when I was a kid, looking at the moon was a good summer thing to do. And on July 11th, 1969, we saw the moon, and there was a man on it.
On the moon?
Yeah.
Was that?
So we watched.
You mean July 20th?
Oh, 20th.
July
yeah.
20th.
I think they lifted off on the 11th. I think they lifted off on the 11th or something like that.
Well, yeah.
So whatever July day that was, we would watch them walk on the moon, and then we ran outside and looked up, and we could. I just saw somebody on the moon.
I suck at that game because I can never find the man in the moon. I don't know if I'm looking.
There finally was a man on the moon.
The Big Gulp came out in 1976.
Yeah.
Okay,
So,
76.
Brother Smith
That's
is correct.
one
So
of
here's
the great
something
American
my
inventions.
brother, who was kind of a firebug. Did you guys have that, like a neighborhood firebug guy? My brother
Yes.
was like that guy. So 4th of July, we would wake
Oh,
up in the
that was
morning of the
neighborhood. God.
we would wake up in the morning of the 5th of July, like at 6 a.m., and we'd walk the streets, try to find the people would set off firecrackers all in one strand, and not all. Some of them would blow away without blowing up, and so he would find the duds or the ones that didn't get blown up. He would come home and he would take out all the gunpowder and do stuff with it. I don't know what he did with it.
Oh, I did that, and I put it all in a pen
And do a flash.
into a what I guess a Sharpie. Now they call them Sharpies, but I took it apart and I filled it full of gunpowder. I mean, packed to the brim, and I lit it expecting it to take off. No, it blew up.
Yeah.
It was a big firecracker. Because the orifice.
This reminds me. Did you guys ever make what we called matchstick bombs?
Yes. Yes. You cut the ends off the match.
Cut the ends off a match.
Match. No, not a wooden match. No.
Well, we use wooden. We use the tips of wooden matches.
And you put it in the CO2. You cut the end off the CO2 cartridge, and you stuff it full of matches. Well, we didn't use wood matches. We used matchbook matches. You cut them up, and then you'd launch it, and it would go whoop.
That's different. Well, again, I would do this with a specific friend. You cut off maybe, I don't know, 75 or 100 heads of a wooden match, and you put it in a piece of paper and you wrap it up in a ball, and then you tape it very tightly with electrician's tape.
Right.
You make it about the size of a racquetball or even baseball, a little too big. Anyway, you launch that way up high, and it comes down and it hits the ground, and it ignites it, and it kind of bounces, and then it explodes.
Yeah.
And, we did
I just
that
want everybody to know we would not tape matchsticks to grasshoppers and light them on fire.
No, we wouldn't use magnifying glasses against grasshoppers.
No. And Song says going to the store on the bike to get Boston baked beans. And
I still buy Boston baked beans and lemon heads. Songs, I still eat them.
And for us, it was also nibs, cherry flavored nibs, and cream soda. We had never tasted cream soda before, and a friend that had a little paper route or something, so he had money, so we could go, and he would, and then Doritos came out, and so that was a flavor explosion for those three things for us: the nibs, the cream soda, and the Doritos. We never had stuff as good as that. It was like life will never be better.
Last memory, and then I'll go. I recall in the mid 70s, and I don't know if this was summertime or not, but our ward would have movie night, and they on a like a 16 millimeter film, we would watch movies. And one movie that I distinctly remember watching in the cultural hall with popcorn and blankets on the floor, was the Apple Dumpling Gang.
Oh.
That's a Disney film. Don Knotts and Tim Conway. So how times have changed. I definitely remember that. Good times. So
say that again.
Anyway,
you do.
I'll see you guys.
What do you do? You take. Say that again, please.
You want the bomb formula?
He can email you it if you promise to do it and film it and show it next week.
We'll talk about it later, Tim. I got to run.
Okay. All right. Bye.
Thanks for coming by. My best friend had a paper route, and so did his brother. And so we'd go over to his house to have a sleepover. When I say sleepover, I don't mean like his mom makes up an extra bed for the friend and, we all have a bed to sleep in. We'd each get a blanket. If we had one from the house, I'd have to grab one from my house. and we'd sleep on their basketball court. You know, their cement backyard outside. We'd just sleep outside on the cement. No pillow, none of that. And we'd get up at 4 a.m. and we'd all take our bikes and go with Lyle and Mark to their paper routes. And what was
Huh.
really cool about it is Wright's Market in Mesa, Arizona, very, very old Mormon owned grocery store, had a bakery. And 4 a.m. was when they started baking all the donuts.
Oh,
So we'd go and deliver the papers in there, and he'd give us all a fresh hot donut. It
cool.
was pretty orgasmic. But I didn't
And
know because I was like, 11.
So Trevor talks about one of his scout leaders blew his hand apart as a kid playing with gunpowder. And I
I had
remember
a
we had some firecrackers early, and I don't know why some neighborhood friend gave them to us, and we were practicing throwing them. And I was just a 8 or 9 year
well,
old.
you light them and throw them. Yeah.
You light them and throw them, and they blow up, and it's kind of fun. And so my brothers were doing that, and I did a couple. And then one firecracker, sometimes they go, and then like stop.
Right.
And then you're like, what?
And they go boom.
Then it started up again. I was like, ah. Right when I was like that, it went off, and my hand was numb, and my hearing was
We're
a little
ringing.
bit, ringing, and I didn't throw firecrackers anymore.
My friend
were
tried to
real
push
men.
an M80 through a chain link fence, and it went off and it embedded the cardboard in his hand. And our ears were ringing. I said, David, you're so stupid. What? You're supposed to hold it like this. I showed him how to do it. You hold it, you put your fingers through the chain link fence, and you hold the M80 out there, and you light it, and then you drop it. You don't try to push it. You don't light it and try to push it through.
Right.
There was also Boy Scouts camp. Remember? Scout camp was in the summer.
So that's the other thing is we were talking
love
about, like pre-12-year-old stuff. And now we can talk about older people's things. And yeah, scout camp. So
Scout
Randy,
camp.
did you guys do scout camp farther away from home, or do you remember going somewhere?
We did. We went up into the White Mountains from the Phoenix Valley, a couple hours up north.
Uh-huh.
And we had a I loved scout camp.
Were you a good merit badge attainer?
Yeah, I was a good MBA. Yeah, merit badge attainer.
Yeah.
So
So what were your favorite merit badges?
canoeing was fun. I loved archery. I did one animal recognition where you tell what animals they are by hints and certain things or poop. I don't know. I just know that I had a great time. Oh, when we used to play this game all the time because we'd always have the Olympics at the end of the scout week,
Right.
and so we'd get a stump, and there were scouts from all over the state, and we'd put matches, the wooden matches, shove them down in the cracks of the stumps, and then we each got to take turns going up with a hatchet and seeing if we can come down right on the head of that match and light the match. Because it seems like that would be easy, but to put that little blade on that little match and have it. And we did games like that.
And I remember archery was good because the first time you did a rack or whatever they call them, what do they call them? A quiver of arrows. You get a score, and you're not very good. You're lucky to get like 2 or 3 even on the target.
Yeah, lucky to hit the
and then you get, and then you're like, you get a score, and then you're like a junior archer, right? And then you get to be a middle archer, and then you get to be an archer, and then you get to be a super archer, and then there's like a gold archer and a silver, then you get things that you can put on your shirt and things, and so that was fun to do archery.
Yeah. You were all kinds of archer.
Yeah, I spent a lot of time at the archery place.
I'm like, give me the merit badge, bitch. Just give me the merit badge.
And you were done with it.
I was done. Yeah.
Tim, where did you guys go for scout camp?
We went to Camp Witsit. This is an aerial view on Google Earth. I took my kids up there a couple of years ago. It's up the Kern River Canyon, and we used to go there every summer for scout camp. And there was a place we called the Slides. It was a rock that was curved, and it had a pool at the bottom, and you had your shorts on and you slid down it. And there was this one blemish in the rock, and if you were on that side of it, you would hit a solid rock, and the other side the river went down, but one part it would come and it would hit the rock like that. So you didn't want to be over on it was dark. I remember it was a dark spot. You didn't want to be over there. You wanted to be over here. And so you were very careful about the way you slide down there.
What would happen if you hit the rock?
You'd hurt yourself. You could break a leg or something. I mean, you got going pretty fast down this. It's probably 50 to 100 feet down. You slide down it and walk back up and do it again 3 or 4 times before you go back to camp.
You ever notice as a kid like that, we never wondered, is this dangerous for our health? Could we get injured doing this?
We knew that if you were on that side.
And yes, and this is coming of age stuff. Like Bull Curtin McConkie sheet says, I learned how to gamble at scout camp as a kid. And so, yes, we learned other things that we didn't maybe experience at home or other safe places. Because when we go to camp, there were bad Mormons that would come, right? The inactive boys that would go to scout camp because it wasn't church, and so they would go to that. And they're the ones that were the rough cutters. One of them might have brought a Playboy magazine and shared some pictures, and another one might have brought cards or something and played. But there was also non-Mormon scout troops,
right,
that we would interact with, and they would swear, and we knew that we were better than they were because we, were Mormons. But
well, this is where we threw Johnny Osmond into the creek, into the Kern River.
There wasn't a merit badge for that back then, I don't think.
No, there wasn't a merit, but Merrill and can't remember the other one, but it was Dennis, David, me, and it was me and Dennis, Dave, and Merrill that did it. That grabbed it. The river. Yeah, and there was a lake there, and when we went up there, the lake was empty, and it was so shallow. I remember it being like 5 or 10 feet deep, and it wasn't that deep. It must have filled in, but yeah, I love that camp. Yeah.
The only problem with Camp Geronimo's lake that we would do our canoeing in is the scout leader had this great idea that we'd get out to the middle of the lake and then we'd have to tip it over and swim in. And that came to a quick end when one of the very first boat jumped in, and here's a big old rattlesnake swimming out to water moccasin. And that put an end to that part.
Wow.
Yeah. But, taking a Playboy magazine scout camp, that was child's play. I'd take a hike 2 miles over the hill to the girls' camp and grab 3 or 4 of them and take them back to scout camp.
Yeah, right.
Here you go, boys.
Would you tip them?
Would I tip them? Is that what you said?
Pimp.
Oh, right.
Tip
Yeah.
them.
Yeah. I get your chocolate chip cookie tomorrow after the meal.
Yeah. And so that's the other thing is, like, as you get older and you can drive, somehow I found my way to girls' camp once with a friend of mine. And we went to say hi. And some of the adult leaders let us say hi, but they didn't let us stay long. That was an interesting thing.
Wow. Camp Maple.
I don't know what state Camp Mapledale or Schofield is.
Ohio. I'm just guessing.
Maybe Utah.
Well, could be. Is there a Schofield, Utah?
I think so.
The Mormon atheists used to go to Snodgrass tanks in Arizona for scout camp.
Oh, the water. Or were those the big water tanks, white tanks on the mountain?
Maybe. My son's scout camp used to go up to San Jacinto above Palm Springs when I went with them.
Yeah, so if anybody wants to come on and tell us their stories.
Yeah, it's time.
See,
It's
there
time.
was a rifle range there, and there was an archery range. And
If there's a female who's out there who was a young woman at some point in their life and wanted to talk about what girls did during the summer other than stay away from some of the young boys.
Oh, so you're looking for a female that was a young woman at one point in their life.
That's right.
Good luck.
I'm narrowing the range.
I love the name Bull Curtain McCookie Sheep.
Yeah, I remember that. Brings back good memories.
Yeah, there was a lot of blood spilled at scout camp, but it
Oh, a lot of blood.
wasn't very, very serious, but yeah, a lot of injuries.
Maple Dell is in Payson. Schofield's down toward Price, up Spanish Fork Canyon.
Oh, boy.
Well, I know that sleeping over was just one of our most important activities, because it's like once the sun went down and we were in their backyard, we could do anything. We could go anywhere, anything we wanted. I mean, we usually stayed put once nighttime was there, but if we wanted to sneak away, that was not difficult. We had this huge canal that ran north and south through Mesa, Arizona. It was a drainage canal, and it, over years of time, people riding their bikes up and down the walls of this canal, it got real steep, and then we'd go flat, and we called it dead man's trail. And we would get going so fast on our bikes, zooming up and down the high walls of this dirt canal. It was just the funnest thing ever. And we could just, and what kills me is when I go to ride my bike now, if I don't even have a bike, what am I talking about? But if I get on a bike and start pedaling, my legs get tired. That never happened as a kid. We never even knew what getting tired was while riding our bikes. And then feel free to respond to that if either of you want to or not. But anyway, it was really fun. It was Dead Man's Trail. Well, we never died. Well, good. Anyone want to come on here? The Mormon atheist to Lake Powell used to love that.
Come on, Smiley, and come on. There were, I remember, girls that were a little bit better at things than some of the boys. And it was fun to have a girl join us and do some things. Just as we were starting to figure out what this weird species of girls were, as our hormones were just starting to kick in.
Right.
I remember we played a football game, a two-hand touch with some boys and girls, and my brother ripped the shirt of one of the girls. And
oh no!
And I was almost wondering if he did it on purpose. She was wearing a bra, and somehow she kept on playing. She tied it in a knot up so that it was it wasn't ripped all the way off, but it was just ripped so you could see her bra strap.
So what you're telling me?
Back in the day when a bra strap actually caused some excitement.
Yeah, your brother's obviously a predator.
Yeah.
exposing cross straps.
Yeah. But this girl was a pretty good athlete, and she was dishing it out. Although she didn't rip his shirt off.
Well, that's how it works. I won't even get into that. But yeah, it's funny. I used to have a BB gun. We lived in Durango, Colorado, and I'd go shooting frogs in the swamps. There's a certain smell the swamp had that would just bring all this memory back.
We
But
used to go
I
out
had a
and
BB
shoot
gun.
magpies and rock chucks because the rock chucks would eat. They lived in the rock piles and they'd eat hay around the rock piles. So we'd go out and shoot the.
What in the hell is a rock chuck? Like a woodchuck?
Yeah, it's a woodchuck, but it's like a rock chuck. They call them rock
Oh, it
chucks. I don't
didn't
know what
chuck
they
wood.
are.
Rocks. How many rocks would a rock chuck if a rock chuck rocks?
Well, you have the rock piles, and I'm looking at my uncle's ranch now, and they looks like they moved all the rock piles away that I remember.
Hallie, we saved a seat for you. Come on in.
Hi, Hallie.
So
Hallie, come
Hallie's
in.
saying she had to be a grown-up and had summer jobs and didn't get to have any fun whatsoever.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, I had to work, but it was from my dad.
Well, I worked for my dad too during the summer. Yeah.
I would have rather worked for anybody else but him.
Yeah.
So I used to go hunting frogs in the swamp, and I had this BB gun. It was a pistol BB gun. Most kids had a rifle. I got a pistol BB gun, and I
I
loved
had a
it.
rifle.
And I took that thing down to the swamps every day when we weren't working the horses. And I got to where I could cock that with my thumb. Well, no one could understand how that could be because everyone else had to use two fingers and strain to get it back. And that was a life lesson for me that the reason it was easy for me, not even my dad could do it, and he was very strong, was because I had done it so much and worked at it so much, not even thinking about it. But I started off with two hands and gradually went to one, and cocking it was no big deal. But it was really weird. That was my lesson that practice makes perfect. You because Bull Curtin McCookie Sheet was talking about, yeah, he remembers riding a bike too and not getting tired back then. But now we get tired because we're not used to cocking
Out of
that
practice.
anymore. Yeah,
Yeah.
a little out of practice.
And so it's a good thing you used that practice as a law enforcement officer, because otherwise it would have gone to waste if you became a hairstylist or something.
Cocking my own gun. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a BB gun. It was a rifle. I had a 22. A rock chuck is a yellow-bellied marmot. Marmot. Okay.
Oh,
And you're not just
marmot.
trying to make them feel bad by calling them a yellow belly.
I didn't know what they were called. I just looked it up on Google, and they're yellow-bellied marmots.
I had never seen marmots until I moved here to Washington. They're all over the place.
Yeah, I mean, like they would eat the hay, and so Harold said, "Go out and kill them," because they ate like 10 or 12 bales. That's a lot of hay.
So you weren't doing it out of cruelty towards animals. You were doing it to protect your crops.
Well, I hope you ate them.
Yes,
after
to
shooting
protect
them.
the crop. No
marmot muffins or.
I felt bad one time when I shot one, though. I felt really bad when I shot it and saw it bleed, and I felt really bad. But
did you stomp?
He said, "Oh, you'll get over it, kid."
Put it out of its memory.
I put it out of its misery. Because they used to build these like beaver hutches in the canal and block the water.
Oh, well, they're pains in the ass, aren't they?
Yeah, they could cause trouble because there was a canal that went through the property, and they would try to block it up. So we tear it down, because that was the irrigation water for the whole valley coming down from the Wind. His ranch was right up against the Wind Rivers mountains, and I mean, he always had a 30-06 or a rifle in the truck when we'd be baling hay, and he had this one spot that he would practice shooting at, where the elk always would come down. They always would come down this one spot, and we'd always practice shooting at that one spot. And one time we were out in the field hauling hay, and the truck stopped, and he said, "Be quiet." And we all looked, and there's a target. Okay, imagine this. There's a target of an elk, and the elk is standing right in front of that target. And Harold opened the door, pulled his rifle down, and got him. And we had elk that night for dinner. Elk burgers.
I do like elk burgers.
Oh, elk meat. Elk and buffalo meat, man.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah, because it doesn't have that gamey taste to it.
No.
Like deer meat.
Like deer, yeah. Happened a couple of times when that happened. But the elk would also come down and eat the hay in the hay barn. So we had to put up these big fences to block them so they wouldn't get in it. Yeah. Even though they dropped hay to them out in the wild, they still came and ate the hay in the hay barn. I remember that. Yeah.
Am I the only one who thought that they could breathe underwater as a kid?
Yes.
I remember, I think it was because I would dream it all the time. I was pretty confident that I could breathe underwater. But I don't know. Maybe I just dreamt it all the time, that I'm underwater and I start breathing and all of my friends have to go up for air and I don't. So yeah, I think I was convinced for a while that I could breathe underwater. Yeah, obviously I'm the only nutcase in here, but
no, I think I've had dreams like that too, but I don't think no. I never tried to breathe underwater when I was in the pool. I knew better.
Thanks a lot, Tim. Thanks for that backup.
Wow, Appalachian Trail. Hey, Sons, I would love to. You're welcome. I would love to hike the Appalachian Trail, man. That would be fun. We hiked parts of the Muir Trail one year.
Wow, 50 miles is a long ass hike.
It is a long hike. They had this camp up off of Mulholland Drive that we do a 5-mile hike along a fire road, and then we get to the spot that was a Nike missile base, and they bring water out so we could drink water. And rather than asking us if we wanted more water, they just poured it all out.
Oh no!
Yeah. So the next time we went, can you please save the water so we can have seconds if we need it? Okay. And so the next time we went, they did that. But I can't remember the name of the camp up there. It was one we used to go. Remember that you couldn't go on Sunday if it was a camp out. You had to go Friday night and Saturday, and then you left Saturday afternoon so you could get to church the next morning.
Yeah.
But when we were at Camp Witsit, they had a chapel out there in the woods, so we could hold our own services up there. Remember that? That's
cool. Yeah. The girls did that. That was a thrill of mine to get to go as a deacon, to go past sacrament at girls' camp.
Yeah, I when my ex-wife and my daughter were in girls' camp, I used to go up there with another member of the ward and guard the women. You stay all night, all day to guard them, make sure they're okay.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it was the bishop and I think we're the only two. He would bless the sacrament and I would pass it.
Yeah. That was the second counselor, I think, in me. think I was in Ellis Gorham presidency. It's either Ellis Gorham president or the presidency. Yeah.
We
Hallie asked if the topic was just summer or Mormon summer memories, and as I was typing just summer, but we were Mormons. Trevor said the same thing. Just summer, Hallie, but we're all Mormon.
I'm a little scared of songs of our own now.
Yeah, with the hiking.
Appalachian Trail hike.
Yeah. Well, did she say she never went though? I'm
I
scared
think,
of her just because her mom went. I don't know about you guys, but I would not sign up for a 50-mile hike right now.
Yeah, her mom went a few times as a leader of some groups.
I would probably just volunteer to walk across the parking lot of the grocery store. That's as far as I'm going.
Well, that's right. You remember scout campouts? This isn't summer necessarily, but you'd be learning how to be a leader. You have to like buy the food for your
right.
group.
Yeah.
Create a menu.
So you create the menu, you buy the food, you go to the store and you're buying food, and then you bring it, and then you cook it. And
you remember what one of your dishes was out in the woods?
Bacon and scrambled eggs.
That always smelled so good out there.
Or what is it? What is it with beef and
like a tinfoil stew, beef and potatoes and onions and carrots.
Oh my!
Or we could make
and one of them never was cooked enough.
Peach cobbler. We could make peach cobbler.
Oh yeah!
Oh, those stoves on the.
We would use that biscuit.
Yeah, those stoves.
With something oven. The something oven.
Dutch ovens. Dutch ovens.
I don't know how those Dutch figured out to make ovens and fireplaces, but they were clever.
You can ask Amanda.
Got a handle to those Dutch. They know their chocolate and their ovens.
Yeah, and their
windmills.
Chocolate and ovens, right?
And their wooden shoes.
Yeah.
And they're not daffodils. What tulips?
Tulips.
Those are from.
And that's where dikes came from. Dikes were invented in Holland.
The ones with holes in them.
50-mile hike in 24 hours? Were you guys nuts? Were you guys nuts? Bull? Oh my God. Oh my gosh. I think the longest I ever did was a 20 in one day.
So yeah, Songs is saying that apparently when they would be driving or doing a long trip at testimony meeting, the family would tell stories about things, and that would make the kids embarrassed. That could be a show. Like, when did your parents make you embarrassed? Maybe someday.
Right.
Tinfoil dinner and Dutch oven.
Yeah, tinfoil dinner with a potato. And you put a nail in the potato so it would cook faster.
Right.
What? No one told me about that.
Yeah,
that's probably what the Romans were doing with Jesus.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Right. No, you put a nail in the potato and wrap it in tin foil, and it cooks faster.
And
you could put cheese and like an au gratin potato in there.
I'm getting hungry. I'm getting hungry now that we're talking about this.
Oh, remember biscuits where you take water and Bisquick and a stick and just stir it and cook it over the fire. You cook the dough over the fire until it got brown, then you eat it. Or
where were you, Tim? I just talked about that. When you were talking about your peach cobbler, I said, or take the Bisquick, get it wet, you know, and glue it on the
Okay.
stick and then cook it over the fire. That
Hey,
was
I'm a
really
little
good.
slow. I'm a little slow.
It's really good bread.
It is
Probably
really good
because,
bread. And
probably
then
because you're in the mountains with nothing else, but it sure seemed
it
good.
was, let's see. And of course, s'mores. Everybody had to have s'mores. And, and then you had, you made a stove. Remember High C, the big cans High C came in?
Yeah.
Those, and you cut the bottom and open with, and you could flip open, and it'll be like a stove. And I used to cook bologna on top of mine, cook bologna
Oh,
or
yeah.
hamburgers on that. Um, yeah,
Those
Yeah,
are
you make
I
a
made
good.
a
stone at
couple.
those. Are those number 10 cans? Is that what they call them?
I don't, maybe
So you would make holes in the bottom so that the smoke would
would
come out of the bottom, and the heat
come
would
out
be rise to the top, and that would be
top.
your
Yeah,
cooktop would be the top of the can.
yeah. That would be your
That's because they're teaching us survival skills, because back then there were number 10 cans just laying around everywhere, and so you just grab one.
jelly and butter. Okay, yeah. Trevor, what did Trevor say?
I don't know, but jelly and butter, dang, that sounds good.
That sounds really good.
Yeah, what did
Songs,
Trevor say?
songs, we've saved a booth for you. Come on in. Ali, song. Where's Kinder Kim?
This show's starting to feel a lot like summer to me, because there
Well,
wasn't much happening.
it'll be summer
Just a few people
in
hanging
a
around
week.
talking.
It'll be summer in a week.
That's right.
So, yeah. Um, Wait, what did Trevor say? Jesus was sun-dried, not baked. What did you say, Trevor? I gotta look. Oh, let me see. Yeah, well, they thought the world was going to end. That's right. We thought there was going to be nuclear war and we're all going to die. So they were teaching us, and that's how the young women's is too. Though my mother was a Girl Scout leader, but she also was young women's camp director, and she said that those were survival skills they were teaching the girls. And the same thing with us boys. They taught survival skills because they were convinced the world was going to end.
Man,
And scouts, you had to have like a little survival kit with some fish hooks and just enough string to dangle in the lake, and you had the wax around the matches so that
Right.
they wouldn't
make
get
it waterproof.
wet.
Waterproof.
You waterproof the things. What else
Had
did
a
those kids
compass.
have? Little compass.
Got to have a compass in there.
We were ready for the end of the world.
Yeah.
Did you ever have the flint with the cotton balls?
Yes, the flint,
Yeah.
the thing you hold on to, and it's a rod, and
Right.
you strike it. Yeah.
That's how we had to light our fires.
That's right.
Yeah.
We didn't have
but I know the
matches.
adults used matches, but I'm just saying.
Yeah.
made
They wouldn't trust us with matches.
No.
There was a scoutmaster that he would just bring flares and say, forget all that stuff, stack the wood up, strike that flare, and just stick it to the fire, to the wood, and it would just like be a nice roaring fire in about a minute and a half. And then also the rescue planes would come in and
Yeah, right. You could hear the helicopter.
whatever Trevor said, he said he made it up. But
Okay.
steel.
All right, Trevor.
Flint and steel.
Okay. Let's see. What else do we do? What else? Oh man.
Oh, you know what? I got the arts and crafts merit badge too.
And that reminded me, summertime was a lot of times was to you get a plastic model kit, and you'd spend your summer building a car or a ship,
Oh,
or
I
some
used to love
Airplanes.
plastic.
Airplanes or tanks. Every time I got
Airplanes.
a haircut, there was a hobby shop across from the barber, and I always got a model every time I got a haircut.
Was that a bribe to get you in the
I
barber?
guess so. Yeah, I guess. I always got a butch though. I mean, like this, my hair was a butch. Like, I always got a butch. Always got a butch haircut.
I like your hair like that, Gene. Or Gene.
Thank you.
Tim.
Thank you.
But Gene,
Thank
I
you.
like
I
your
do
hair
too.
wrong.
I do too.
Tim got a haircut, and I wonder if he's wondering if there was a model coming in the mail or something.
No.
And when you're
no.
a kid, you're fine with that model that comes in a box, but Randy wants one that comes on his arm.
I want one that comes on my arm too.
I don't know. Are we being nasty, or is that?
No, it's
There's
just
nothing wrong with that.
just our interests grow differently.
Yes, summer reading program at the library. Oh yes, thank you,
Oh,
Songs. Yes,
Yeah, the
yes.
summer reading program.
How many books can you read?
Yeah, and sometimes they would give gifts. They would have prizes at the end, depending on how many books. If they would have for younger kids, you would draw a picture of something in the book that you read, like Green Eggs and Ham. You might read, and you would draw a picture of green eggs and ham, I guess, or something.
That'd be fun.
And then at the end, if you filled up your book, they would give you like a ho-ho cupcake or something.
Some kind of prize.
Or one of those Chinese.
Oh,
what do you call those Chinese handcuffs?
Finger
Finger
puzzle.
connectors.
Finger puzzle.
Finger traps.
And it was during that time that I learned at the library that there were books that I could not check out because they were adult only, and I wanted to read them.
The finger traps allowed you to do your own farting.
Right. The Chinese finger puzzle.
All this.
Oh yeah, go to family reunions. That's a good one.
Yeah, that also family reunion. Yeah,
that is a.
That's why we go to Wyoming. We always go to Wyoming for the family reunions. And after my mission, when we lived in Colorado Springs, I'd go to my uncle's ranch from first crop July to second crop in September. I'd go there June, July, August, part of September, and I help out all summer long. I worked with my dad, so I could do this. I'd go all summer long, and I'd work on the ranch and help out. I did that from 76 to 80.
You know what, Tim, did you ever order anything out of the back of a comic book? Jane? You know, like the see-through the glasses that you can
see through glasses.
Close.
Or the little camera, the spy camera.
Spy camera.
Well,
or the submarine that was a cardboard submarine. Cardboard.
The most excited I've ever been regarding this topic is when I ordered, there was a big monster. It said Frankenstein monster, and it shows this huge monster standing up, and it has life size on it, and you can see standing up next to a regular person.
Yeah.
And it said, it walks, it talks, you control it. I can't tell you how excited I was to actually have a robot that does what I tell it to do, that walks and talks. And it was almost $7. So
wow.
I'm thinking this is amazing. And I waited and waited and waited. And, it says like you have to wait 2 to 3 weeks. I mean, it wasn't like the mail is now. Anyway, months afterwards, this big envelope showed up for me after I had given up all hope. And I pulled this out and it says Randy Watts on it. So I opened it up. I was so excited and pulled it out.
Did it say Randy Watts under the stairs, the cupboard? Like Harry Potter.
Okay, so you pull it out.
But I pull it out and it's a big balloon.
What?
And printed on the balloon is the face of Frankenstein and some cardboard feet that where you tied the balloon, you put it through a little hole and that's the feet. And it says to make it talk, use this. And it was just a little metal thing that you put inside your mouth, and you'd go, ooh, ooh, when you breathe out, it makes this funny noise, and make him walk by bouncing him on the floor. And I'd try it, and it would just topple over. And there was nothing realistic about it. As a matter of fact, that's one of my biggest
letdowns.
disappointments, in my life.
I mean, that's like $100 nowadays.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Cardboard.
Okay,
And
I saved
those-
that.
And those guys that made those ads made millions selling crap to us kids.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes, I had a subscription to Boy's Life. It wasn't false advertising, though. They sent him what he asked for.
Well, we'll say false advertising, but there was no consumer
Protection.
advocates for kids back then.
no. And I never got a pair of those glasses that you could see through women's clothes.
Yeah.
The ones with the
That's the
swirlies on
second
them.
biggest disappointment.
The swirlies with the hole in the middle of them. I just wanted to see if they worked, but I never got
I
it.
remember getting a cock stretcher. It was a little stretcher with a cock on it. It was a cock
Rocks and
stretcher.
sea monkeys. So yeah, the sea monkeys. That's what I thought at first you were going to say about the monsters.
No, I
Sea
never
monkeys.
ordered sea monkeys.
So
I
what are
never
they,
ordered
like,
brine
fried shrimp
shrimp.
or something that you put them in
Brine
water? and they
shrimp.
live?
Yeah, brine shrimp.
I think I did order sea monkeys, and it was very anticlimactic.
Yeah.
Or I had a friend that did. Someone did, and it's like it's just these little. Because I was expecting these monkey-looking things with all these bright costumes on, like they showed. Like there was a king with the crown on, the king of the
Right, with a scepter.
yeah.
Yeah.
And a queen, and I'm thinking it's going to be a community of living
Oh,
people.
what
you know.
about ant farms? Who remembers having an ant farm? My friend had an ant farm.
Yeah, buddy, I had an ant farm. Yeah.
And you had to be careful they didn't get out into your house. 'Cause it was
That's right. Randy even would wake up at 4 a.m. to milk the ants on his farm.
Right. It'd take little teeny tiny tweezers.
Let me see, what else do we do? We used to play army or gangsters, depending on the day.
We played tag at night.
Yeah.
We would make jumps for our bikes. See how high we could
Yeah.
jump.
Well, see, they were building the 10 freeway. They took the 10 freeway and cut through all our streets.
Oh,
Greenfield Avenue, they cut Greenfield in half. So we had dirt mounds to go play on.
it's awesome.
Oh, that's right. Construction sites. You go on construction sites and you wander around.
I was going down a hill on my bike and it hit me really bad, really messed up my stomach and my liver. The handlebar twisted or something happened. I can't remember. But all I can remember was the pain and going to the ER. Oh, there's nothing wrong with you. You just, it'll heal itself.
Yeah. I'm with you, atheist. I love doing that.
Yeah, we used to make a jump in the front of the house where you run up and jump over it. Yeah. Remember, before you had skateboards, you had the thing with the roller skates.
Yeah.
And you put a box on it and you'd have handles and you use your feet to move along and then they pull it off and it becomes a skateboard. But this before skateboards, I can't remember what we called those things.
Yeah, they're in Back to the Future, Marty, in part 2 or
Part
whatever.
2.
He
But I
sees a
don't know what they
girl
were
doing that, and
called.
he takes the top off and he does the skateboard.
Yeah.
Wows them.
But the first skateboards were
Well, that
really
was part
small.
1, right?
The first skateboards you could buy were about about 18 inches long and about 3 or 4 inches wide. And they were red
Yeah.
with white writing on them. And they were
Oh,
just
yeah.
roller skates.
Just
And they
Yeah.
weren't big.
Yeah, so we would get on skates. Remember the first skates you would get? They had the metal wheels, and you're going on asphalt, which is really rough. And you go like maybe 1 mile an hour. It's almost like harder to skate than it was to just walk.
Exactly.
But we're trying to do it. We're just grit and just toughen through it all. Oh yeah, and put cards on the wheels to make it sound like you're driving a motorcycle.
Yeah, cards. Yes, cards on your bike.
Clothes pins.
And then somebody in the neighborhood got a Schwinn with a banana seat.
Yeah, that my sister got that. My sister got a lime green one with the banana suite. I had a red one. It was just a regular bike. My sister got a green one, lime green with a banana seat. Yeah. That was a Stingray.
We would get those little bikes and we would ride them up and down mounds and stuff or whatever. And then just when we were all teenagers, our younger brothers and their friends, they all had motocross. They had bikes with Ashtabula cranks and forks and different, and they were saying all these things, and they had pegs and different things, so that somebody could ride on the back of it. And I think Napoleon Dynamite has a bike with pegs on it and has his friend ride on it. But anyhow,
I wonder how the horses like that little bit of flavor in their troughs.
What?
Hallie said she collected pollywogs and put them in the horse trough.
I remember collecting crawdads. I went to Redeemer Bible Camp, and there were crawdads. It was down near San Diego, and they had crawdads in the river. We played capture the flag and ate crawdads.
Oh, that sounds good.
Bert McCookie Sheet is saying, or play Pogs for keeps. No, I barely remember Pogs. There's something with a round
My
thing.
kids love Pogs.
Like a
They're
chip.
like poker chips
with some sort of image of somebody. I can't remember. And I barely remember those things. But that was the start. From Pogs, there got to be lots of collectible things like Pokemons.
My kids had Pogs. I remember getting my kids Pogs and getting my kids Pokemon.
Do you guys remember the Super Balls? Those black
and
balls
clackers.
And clackers and yo-yos. I mean, there were our school, we went through these different phases, and one of them was the Super Balls. But the problem is, if you bounce it as high as you can, those things were so bouncy, they'd eventually go somewhere and you never found them.
Remember Flubber?
Oh, yeah.
Flubber and Play-Doh? Not Play-Doh.
Slinkies?
No, I know what you're talking about.
You could put
Silly Putty.
Silly Putty.
That's it.
That's it. Silly Putty. Yeah, you could put it on the comic strip and
we were
pull
simple
it off.
kids back then.
Hey, we were easily amused.
Yeah.
We didn't have these stupid. Oh, sorry, Jasmine. We didn't have these phones to distract us all day long.
If we wanted to look at pornography, we would break into the neighbor's house. Lyle and Mark, their neighbor, they had a bunch of hippies that were renting this house. And they had every magazine you could think of. And they just had a big stack of them in the middle of their room on the table. And we broke in there one time, sitting there reading their Playboy magazines and got caught.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
My dad would buy them and hide them in the garage, and I used to go find them. He didn't buy very many.
Smiley saying, did anyone have one of those swing bikes, the bikes where the front moves separately from the rear? I think I remember seeing those, but not.
I remember
where
them. How
it goes up and
Smiley.
down.
Yeah, I don't
No,
remember
it
exactly.
swings. It swings. I know what he's. They're
Somehow the
talking about.
back wheel can move like this and this, even though you're going in a straight line or something.
Yeah. I had a friend that designed a bike that you could push it with like a spring and it would move along. He used to ride it
Yeah.
up and down Hollywood Boulevard. It was in
They
Hollywood
have those
Ward.
now. I've seen.
Do they?
My dad helped me take my handlebars off my bike and install a steering wheel. So I had my Stingray
Wow.
with a steering wheel, and
Steering wheel?
I felt right downtown, but it kept falling off. So finally, I just pitched it and just rode my bike with no handlebars, and I got really good at that.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
You know, you remember you could turn if you lean one way or lean the other
Yeah.
way.
That reminds me, Randy, when you were talking about putting some in your mouth and being the voice of the
Yeah.
Frankenstein. Is
Yeah.
that when you started deciding that being a ventriloquist would be way better than talking like Frankenstein?
No, but my mom and dad both made that reference later in my life. Like, hey, remember when you had that thing and you couldn't tell where the sound was coming from?
Interesting. Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They called him Slippery Hands Randy, I bet. Somebody says.
Well, they could be. I used to go. When I lived in Hawaii as a kid. I flew over there to help my sister who was having a baby. I was 12, and I had just been made a deacon, so I remember that clearly. But
You had
anyway,
more
I stayed over
authority
there.
than the Pope.
I know. I
Yep.
was very
More
important,
authority.
and I could boss all the bitches around. The 13-year-old, no, the 12-year-old women.
So you went to
just
Hawaii.
I went to Hawaii, and there was my sister lived in an apartment complex that was in a field, and you'd come up off the road and drive down the highway, not the highway, the driveway, and there's this apartment complex, pretty small, but all around it was grass that was way, way, way tall, way over my head. And you know, there were times where I had absolutely nothing to do, so I would go out exploring. And I went out exploring straight out this field, and I remember how scary it was because I didn't know where I was or what was around me. I just kept going through this. I thought I'd got to come to something, and I did. I came to a freaking cemetery that was abandoned for years, and here's all these headstones and graves that I don't know who all knew about him, but let me tell you, that hurried me up out of that grass real quick. That
Wow.
scared the crap out of me.
Wow.
So I actually, since it's my birthday week, I am going to Casa Grande, Arizona, 50 miles south of Mesa. It's going to be 105 degrees. Going to visit my daughter and her husband and 3 grandkids. And I was going to say something else about that, but I was going to say, oh yeah, here's what it is. Randy, there's a Mexican restaurant that's in somewhere that's famous that you said was the Hangout. And is it near Phoenix or
Mattas?
Mattas?
Mattas.
Mattas. I think is that they have one in Tucson.
I don't know now. It used to be just the original Mattas, and then it broke into 2, and then they had 3. So I don't know. I don't know if they've expanded into Tucson or not. But are you going to be going to the Valley at all, or are you sticking with Tucson?
Mesa. We'll probably do something in Phoenix one of the nights.
Well, if you're going to Phoenix, then go through Mesa and eat at Tia Rosa's Mexican food.
Okay.
Can't go wrong.
Tia Rosas.
Trust me on that. Tia Rosas. TIA, which
Baseline Road in Mesa, Arizona.
That's
yeah,
Matas.
buddy.
That's Mata's.
Oh, baseline. Huh, interesting.
I haven't been to there since I was 14 was the last time I was in Arizona. Well, that's not true. Last time I was in Mesa, I was 14. And there was nothing there.
Well, you know, you want to find good places to eat, look by all of the temples there in Arizona. Because once a temple goes up, all the restaurants go up around it. Because that's what everyone seems to like to do is go eat after temple ceremony or after a baptism or after uh, a wedding reception, any reason to eat. The Mormons love to do it.
Did you see what song said?
About ironic.
Ironic priesthood.
Yeah.
And bull curtain McConkey sheets. Never heard it before. Well, you learn something new every day when you come on. See, that's why you should be here every Tuesday with Tuesdays with Tim. You're gonna learn something new every day. And song just taught you something. But I remember calling it the ironic priesthood. Man. Sheesh. What have you done to Phoenix? Mesa, that's all one big city.
Yes, it is. Mesa, Gilbert, Chandler, Tempe, Scottsdale.
It's all
one huge city.
like LA.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like LA now.
Jeez.
So how about this? Your first car.
My first car that I owned was a Rabbit, a 76 orange Rabbit. Not the first car I ever drove, but the first car I ever owned was an orange Rabbit.
And I'll say, I kind of like inherited it from my parents. My parents paid $200 for a '63 Volkswagen, and after a couple of years, it just defaulted to be my car or whatever. And it was very simple. It's like being in a tin can with a steering wheel and an engine. It just seems like nothing's separating you from the outside world very much compared to more expensive cars. But it would get like 35 miles a gallon, right? Perfect for a...
Yeah,
That's
you'd
like my
open
Rabbit.
I had a 69 pickup truck, and I'd open that thing up and there was just a 8-cylinder motor in there, four barrel Rochester quadrajet carburetor, and that was about it. That's all I had to learn to work on my own truck.
That's right. And you learn things like the Rochester carburetor or the Cleveland 352 engine, all the different things you start to learn about that the different cars have.
Yeah, that was my test in my automotive shop class, is I had to disassemble my carburetor from my truck into all the pieces it could break into, and then put it back together and install it in the truck. And I did it. Yay.
So I would look at Car and Driver magazine and Hot Rod magazine at the library, and I would see different things. I think I might have even subscribed to one of those magazines, and they talked about different things you can do. And I was learning what turbocharging was. And do you know what turbocharging is?
Yes.
So it's where more air is forced into the carburetor to make the car go faster, right? So I'd look at the back of the engine of the VW, the Bug, and it would have these pipes on each side. And what it was is that was the heater air would be blown through from the engine into the car. So I thought, well, if that's blowing air, what if I got some duct tape and some other stuff. And I put them together and I put it on top of the carburetor right there. So I did that. And so the car would start off, you're like going, blah, 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 blah. Once I hit like 3,000 RPMs, it would like kick in and like go, Rrr! But then I had to shift because it was going too fast. Shift.
So you taped the ports of the carburetor open?
Yeah, I took off the top air cleaner and taped the heater vents into it so they would force in. So the car was spinning, it was forcing the air always. But you would just open the vents and the heater would go in to the car. If you had the vents closed, it would still blow the air, right? So I put them on top, and so
that's pretty creative, Gene.
A kid would do during the summer, right? I got nothing to do as a 17-year-old in the summer.
So did you really go faster or what?
Just for a little bit, like I say, at the top end, but then you got to shift because otherwise it's just 10% more power from like 2,500 to 3,000 RPMs, but then you got to shift.
Man, until it builds up again, and then you got to shift again. You only have 4 gears, right?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, if I could only learn how to put 2 or 3 more gears in. So I quickly dismantled that and put the air cleaner back on, but it was kind of a fun thing. We got a from Pep Boys, but what was Pep Boys way back then?
Pep Boys was Pep Boys.
Well, there was another auto dealer. I mean, auto parts dealer. I can't remember. But anyway, they had sold Krakow stereos, right? So the VW only had a stock, I think it was only AM radio. So I thought, well, if I get a tape deck AM, FM, put some speakers in, it'll be really good. So we put the tape deck in where the old player was, and we turn the car on, and the light goes on, but nothing's happening for the tape deck. So we're going, that's kind of weird. So let's I don't know why, but we decided to drive around. So the same thing happened. Once we hit like 3,000 RPMs, the alternator was charging enough. So it's a 6-volt battery in the 63 VW. So it needed a 12-volt system. So once we went fast enough, the charger was generating 12 volts, but below that, it wasn't generating enough to power the 8-track.
Enough amperage, enough amps to push through.
Yeah. And so that was another weird kid thing that you learn as you grow.
You know,
like, why did this work?
Weird.
Checker Auto Parts. Was it Checker or was it Napa?
Checker Auto Parts.
I don't remember.
Kragen's, I think.
Kragen could have been Kragen. I only knew Pep Boys because it was up on Pico Boulevard.
Wow. Well,
and now you have AutoZone and O'Reilly's and Napa, and I guess Kragen's still around.
Yeah, it was Kragen's. There were 11 of them in the Bay Area, so that you guys wouldn't have known.
Yeah.
So anyhow. But yeah, when you got nothing to do as a kid and you have this new car thing. So a buddy decided we would take apart the car and get like new valves and lifters. So we took apart the engine. We put it on. We had a skateboard and moved the engine to the backyard. We took it out
on a skateboard.
And moved it to the back, and we did all the work on it. And we put it in, and it would just go, it wouldn't start. So then we had to take it to the mechanic, and he said, "Oh, the lifters were put in upside down, and so it wasn't doing what they were supposed to do, right?" And so
they were downing rather than lifting.
Yeah, but he was impressed that these little teenagers were doing that. So he asked us, my friend and I, if we wanted a job, and my friend said okay, and he got a job out of it.
Wow.
So you
That's
didn't
pretty
have
cool.
Parts?
I was sick of cars at that point because we went through all that work and it didn't work. And then it cost like $400 for the guy to make it work again. And like I say, the whole car only cost us $200 in the beginning.
I had with my Rabbit, I wanted a really nice stereo system in it, as if it mattered. But to me, it did at the time. So I went and I got this really expensive radio, tape deck, and an equalizer radio, one of those equalizers with the sliders, and really nice speakers in the door. And I really souped it up for sound, man. I mean, you could hear me miles away.
I'll bet.
And I mean, this thing barely fit in the room for the radio. I took the stock radio out and I had to do a lot of sawing and cutting and fittings to make it fit the faceplate there. Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, good time.
Good times. And I took the fuel injection off and we made it a carburetor, and seemed to have performed better that way. My favorite tape, Beethoven's Ninth song. Well, okay, my favorite tape other than classical. Let me see.
Did you ever listen to Hooked on Classics?
Probably.
All the classical music.
I had a lot of John Denver. I had Turtles. I had Beatles. I took all my records and my sister's records and I put everything on tape. I had a bunch of tapes in my car. So, one night I was on a date with a friend and played the Turtles, and she hadn't heard the Turtles in years, and she really was freaking out over it. We went up to Garden of the Gods when I lived in Colorado Springs, and we were doing donuts in the parking lot up there because it was all snowy and icy. We were having fun just driving around.
You named some good tapes there. Songs was asking you what your favorite was. I used to love the Turtles because I loved their song.
Yeah.
Tracy, when I'm with you.
The Beach Boys hits.
Beach Boys. I had so many tapes and albums. Jeez. My sisters and I had a great collection. My older sister and myself had a great collection. Herman's Hermits, the Beatles, Dave Clark 5, Stones. Huh?
The Cufflinks?
Led Zeppelin?
No, we didn't have Led Zeppelin. Another one was Bill Cosby comedy. My parents had Bill Cosby. And Frank Sinatra. I really liked Frank Sinatra records, and everything in my parents' collection. I took every record in the house and made tapes out of it. Everything. So I had a bunch of tapes in my car, 20 or 30, and my glove box was stuffed full of tapes. And because I used to have to drive from Colorado Springs all the way up to Loveland, and that's like a 2.5 hour, 3-hour drive, and I just put one tape in and pull another one out, or flip it over. No, my tape, I think my tape player, I didn't have to flip it out. I think it changed sides automatically, if I remember right. And when I got tired of one, I'd put another one in.
You remember when you were trying to save music, you'd have to sit and wait for it to play on the radio?
Play on the radio, and you'd hit it and record it. Yep, all the time. Yeah.
So my brother had a comedy tape from Albert Brooks. This is in the late 70s.
He's hilarious.
And the idea of the comedy album was he would tell you on like track 1, here's what this is about. There's a script that comes with this tape. You learn the punchline to the jokes. And so the idea was you're going to like impress your friends or your girlfriend. You're going to play the tape. And the tape would start out with the comedian talking, and then he would tee up a banter, right? So you start talking back to the tape player, And so then he would say something, and you would make the funny reply, right? And then he would go, "Oh, that's really funny, blah blah blah. What about this?" And you'd say something back, and that's supposed to really impress the people that you were talking to, this comedian, and doing all the jokes.
Well, that sounds like a kick in the head. It's
Well,
like a
I was
virtual assistant back then.
in a few plays at church, and I used to learn I used to tape my lines, and I would listen to them as I drove, and I practiced them. That's how I learned my lines. I was in Because of Elizabeth, A Day, a Night, and a Day, Little Nell, and a few others we put on. Yeah. Yes,
No,
yes.
Annie, you didn't put on Annie.
No, we didn't put on Annie. Oh, we did Saturday's Warrior too. I'd learn Saturday's Warrior.
Did Lex de Azevedo live in your stake?
No, we were in Colorado Springs. No,
Back then. Okay.
Back then. But Glenn Larson lived in my stake in L.A. And when we did our road show, we were second. His came in first. We were second. And
oh man, that reminds me. We would do the road shows, but then for some reason, the stake leaders, like the primary presidency, the Relief Society presidency, the Young Men's presidency, and whatever else they might have had, Young Women's, I guess. They all got together and they put on their own play, and part of it included some men dressed up as women. And that was part of the funniness of the play, right? Just like how Tom Hanks was in Bosom Buddies and stuff like that. And that would happen in movies every now and then. A guy would be forced to dress up like a woman.
Some
Tom
like it hot. Some like it hot.
Sawyer did it in the book. Tom Sawyer.
Tom Sawyer did it. Yep.
I was dressed as a nun for a play I was in.
Really?
Yeah,
but slowly, for the next maybe 15 or 20 years, the church it got scuttlebutt that like you don't do that, right? Yeah, like Brigham Young's son was a drag actor,
right?
Did drag shows,
right. Yes.
And so, but it became like you don't act gay, you don't pretend like you're a woman. It was like the Revenge of the Lawyers, right? On the church. Everything became illegal. Cooking things in the kitchen.
Exactly.
Road shows all went away.
Yeah. They destroyed the culture. We used to write our own road shows. See, that's the thing, is everybody wrote their own road shows.
All the churches have useless stages now, although Santa comes on the stage once a year. And they do have some talent shows every now and then, like annually. But yeah, mostly plays.
Yeah, they don't do a lot anymore. Remember that show we did for Halloween? That was really fun. The enjoyable times when we were kids in the church.
Yeah.
Yeah, we used to put on a haunted house in the Westwood Ward building.
Yeah.
We had a guy, we got stuff from 20th Century Fox, some of the costumes there, put them on, wore those for our haunted house. Yeah.
Tim probably remembers Sunday morning breakfast put on by the high priest group leaders.
High priest group, yeah, I do.
Fundraisers for scouts and stuff like that.
Yep, I do. Well, we used to have ward bazaars. Remember ward bazaars?
Ward bazaars, fundraisers for Relief Society.
Make quilts and stuff. Fundraisers for Relief Society.
Yeah, basically a flea market.
And pancake breakfast for the scouts. Yeah.
How bizarre. How bizarre.
To your word.
Yeah. Well,
How bizarre. How bizarre.
we had Brother Jones come on, and I guess if you guys want to talk some more afterwards, I'll put the link one more time on both sides if somebody wants to come in. But we could say goodbye and good night unless there's any last things you want to say.
Okay.
Do you have anything coming up?
Does anybody suggestions for future shows in the chat now? What do you want to hear about? People, give us suggestions. Come on, we'll give them a few minutes.
Time travel.
Time travel.
Like, where would you go? Would you go
Yeah,
backward? Would you go
Time
forward?
period did you go to? I have an inquiring mind. I want to know.
Where would you go? What would you do? Where would you go?
Hey,
Nobody's saying anything. Oh, wait. Worst prophets. Who are the worst prophets?
What do we got?
Wait, we did
Okay.
our favorite ones, right?
So
Yeah.
the Mormon atheist wants to talk about Tim's life,
Where? I don't see that.
history.
History. Oh, he wants history. Oh, okay.
And we can talk about worst prophets.
Prophets. Okay, come on, guys. Give us some ideas. Crime stories. Okay, crime stories.
Put Randy in charge of committing a crime. Randy, are you ambulatory yet?
Yeah, I'm just barely. I can.
So
I
you
can
have
walk
you
without.
can go rob a bank or something?
I'm not ready to rob a bank, but
That's not
within a
work.
few days, I'll be ready to pull a heist, and then I'll return and report.
Okay.
Return.
Early Mormon shenanigans.
What was?
What do you mean by shenanigans? Give us a definition.
Who said that?
Mormon atheist. Derek said that.
Yeah, no, I know, but did you hear that? Did you hear it come through in that weird tone?
We heard the echo.
I did the echo saying whatever I said, but then there was another voice that came on with that same tone.
I thought it was just the echo still on. That was you.
I want to share something while you're thinking of a show you want to do. And I'm not kidding. I'm not exaggerating. This is backed by Amanda. And Amanda would never even exaggerate. We were in my room. It's been 2 nights ago. We were just having a really nice conversation. It was quiet. And all of a sudden, from the side of my bed, we hear like a big fart noise. And we stopped talking, and what we think is Alexa said, "Ooh, that was I had to push hard to get that one out." What would possess Alexa to say that, to talk like that? Because I've never asked her to make a fart noise, and this was in a rather intimate conversation that Amanda and I were having, and all of a sudden Alexa's over there farting and saying she had to push hard to get that one out. Has anyone ever experienced anything like that?
No.
Yeah.
Have you been?
So yeah, here's an interesting thing. See if it works. If you want to, let's see. I don't know if it'll happen to you, but if I say this, I say, Alexa, do you like me?
You fart too much.
We're able to hear her.
Yeah.
No.
She
What did
says,
she
you
say?
fart too much.
Too much.
She said what?
You fart too much. Now, she doesn't say whether she likes me or not, right? She doesn't say whether it's a feature or a bug.
Okay, I'm writing down what you people are saying. All right. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
So it's not necessarily AI farts, but we could talk about how AI might affect the church in the coming decade. That might be a good.
Thought we already did something with AI,
Did we?
didn't we?
Did we?
I think we did some
If
with
AI
memory.
wrote the Book of Mormon.
That might have been some other show.
I don't know.
We
I
can
like
look it
the
up.
AI thing.
Plus, we have short memories. We're so old. We could just do the same show we did 3 months ago and wouldn't even know it.
What? Huh? What?
We're also hard of hearing.
Huh? What? What? Huh? What? What? Huh?
We could do a show on what we hope our next operation will be.
Oh, no, 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 no. 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 I just went for x-rays today for possible thing. No. No, I don't want to
Ooh.
think about that one.
Hallie
I
Cram
don't want-
says do a Saturday's Warrior watch and comment.
Oh, we could do that.
Would we get busted for copyright infringement?
I don't think anybody cares
Um,
about it anymore.
Oh, that's cool. I like
Is
that.
it recorded somewhere? Or
Yeah,
is it just audio?
No, it's because there's a guy in there that looks like
Will you try to get the video of it somehow, and then we'll try to see if it's on YouTube somewhere.
it's on YouTube. Hang on, let me look.
I mean, we have weeks and weeks to for you to look. We don't have to do it right now, but we're stalling.
We don't
Prediction
know
on who the next presidents will be based on ages, who's set up to lead for a long time, and probably what they will their emphasis will be.
Freaking
there's a whole tape. You can even watch it on Pluto TV if you wanted to.
We can't cast Pluto TV though. I don't think to our show.
No, but I mean, there's a YouTube channel, Hard to Find Mormon Videos.
That's right.
And there's even the
wow.
Christopher Michaels Saturday's Warrior.
Hallie says patriarchal blessings.
Okay. Hallie, I like you.
I think Randy is going to offer, he will give people online patriarchal blessings for $1, and they're going to be way shorter, and it'll be way better than you ever got before.
Yeah.
Right, Randy?
Oh yeah, $1. That's about a sentence, but I can say a lot in a sentence. So
That's
don't
right.
hesitate
You
on
could
that.
say, what did Joseph Smith say when he keeps on his sentences going? Yea, verily. No. And it came to pass. You can keep on saying and it came to pass instead of having a period.
There you go.
And Alexa will say, and it came to pass gas.
Yeah, right. Had to push hard to get that one out.
Predict the next Mormon headlines.
Watch a temple ceremony, react to them.
Temple ceremony reaction show. That's a good one.
That's a good one, Trevor.
That's on the internet.
Yeah.
Old LDS films watch party, like Johnny Lingo.
Johnny Lingo.
That's what Coach used to do, right?
Did he?
No, that's what D-Rays does.
Oh.
It's still part of his content. I don't know if he does it anymore on Mondays.
Oh.
I don't know. We don't talk about him.
That's right. Everybody's Alexa is going off as I say it.
Alexa, order a pizza.
Oh, everybody read their patriarchal blessing.
Yeah.
Compare. Okay. Well, I don't have mine anymore to compare.
Alexa. Hey,
shut up, Alexa. act out your favorite temple place.
Alexa, stop.
No, I don't hate watch anybody. It's not worth it. I don't want to give them the bandwidth.
Is there a Catholic thing that's related to patriarchal blessings?
I don't think so.
A what?
Because the church is trying to go more mainstream Christian or Catholic, and I was wondering, like what? Because like they call investigators friends now, and they call the young men's president, a youth group leader,
I don't know.
and stuff like that.
I don't
I
know.
wonder if there's a Christian word for patriarchal blessings that they could throw in there.
No, they just think they're saved and they go to that. Slain by the Spirit type of shit. Anyway. Alexa, buy everything.
So mine used to say I was magnificent until we changed to the new Alexa Supreme or whatever we call it.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay. Cringy Mormon film strips.
Did I just see the 5-minute warning go off?
Oh, we probably should stop it then.
Yeah, I've got it set up where it'll do that.
Okay, well, then we got to go. We're already an hour. Oh, we're almost 2 hours. We're at 2 hours right now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow. Okay. Time to say goodnight. Thank you. Thank you for the trip down memory lane.
Love you
Yeah.
all.
Love you all.
This was Randy's
And you
idea, and it was a great idea.
It was a great idea.
Well, I thank you. Thanks. You guys
Yeah.
have a wonderful week, and we'll see
Have a
you
good
on
week. Stay
Sunday
safe.
for the Salt Lake Expositor Show.
Yeah.
Yes,
strip.
Sunday.
Talk about the film strip someday.
Yeah, we could talk about man's search for happiness.
Excellent. Yeah, I got that memorized.
Yeah, me too, in
After
German.
midnight.
Oh, well, see y'all later.
See you.